Okay, so this will undoubtedly be one of the least watched videos and series on my channel. Perfectly fine. I'm just here to share a few life gems with you and relate it back to sneakers. Alright, so this video is specifically targeted towards high school students. Yes, and I know you're in that demographic where you absolutely don't listen to your parents. That's fine, and neither did I. But we may connect via sneakers, so let's tie back some things I remember from high school that I wish I knew then, that I know now, and really tie it into how the sneaker landscape, different models, it's all pretty much the same.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl TJ back with another video. Talks with TJ, aka TJ2 Swoosh T Yeezy. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in to another video. And if you're a parent and you watch my channel and you happen to have a student who is either in middle school or they're heading to high school or they're at the tail end of high school, maybe this video is for you. If not, I totally get you clicking off. I take zero offense to it. This will be really that like black sheep content that's on the channel that doesn't have to do with a brand new release. So let's just dive right into the video for today. Point blank period, okay? The game changes. What do I mean by the game changing? Well, once you're done with high school, it's essentially like the sneaker landscape. Everything changes. Think back to the 90s and you can't. So ask your parents about the sneaker game in the 90s and they'll explain how vastly different it is today versus then. So that's what life becomes. It changes a whole lot. Everything you know and love in the comfort of high school, that pretty much is gone and removed once you're finished with high school. And let me just tell you this, okay? I know you know that life isn't fair, but it's absolutely not fair once you're done with school. Enter bots, okay? Or AKA bullies. Like, unfortunately, if that's something that you witnessed, you saw other students being bullied. Okay, well, bots essentially bully just manual, regular users or buyers of sneakers in the market and the landscape today, taking up all the pair. So you will discover that a lot of life is not fair, okay? You will work harder and someone else will get a reward or job or position or a raise based on nepotism or whose ass they kissed. I'm not really sure, but it's not fair. You will have to overcome that. Game changing, you're in that area where you have to make some very hard choices, okay? And I'm not talking about go to a dance or study for a test or something like, no, you have to make very hard choices that could impact you far beyond, you know, high school or college. We'll venture into student loan debt later on, but you're making some very hard choices, okay? The hard choices that a lot of us make right now in the sneaker game. We take an L, do we pay resale, or do we just carry on with that L and we learn to adjust and we learn to adapt and we learn to pivot? You'll have to make some very hard choices. The one thing I ask of you, no matter what, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, own your choices and just be accountable. Number 2, it won't last. Almost anything, it won't last. So what do I mean by that? I really do mean like almost anything, and I liken that to classics versus hype. Okay, the hype is here and it fades and it goes away and it's great and it's glamorous and it sparkles and it catches your eye at first, but it doesn't last. It's not meant to last. It's not built to last. And let's think back to some of the classics that have truly stood the test of time in terms of sneakers. So you have Air Force Ones, you have Air Jordan 1s, you have Converse, you have Vans. These are sneakers, Reebok Classics and Pumas. Like, there are certain models that continue to hold their value. I don't care if it's shell toes. Again, I don't care if it's a Converse, you know, high, the Chuck Taylor All-Star. I don't care. Certain pairs will hold their own over time. You know what won't? Relationships that you are carrying on once high school is done. So let's just get to the hard fact. Parents might like me saying this. Students won't like me saying this, but that relationship with him or her, doesn't matter the situation. Yeah, it probably won't last. And that's arguably for the best. Like, you are, I don't know, anywhere from 14 to 18, I'm guessing. You will change so much from when you start high school to when you end high school, and even that first year of college. Like, you're a different person once it's all said and done. And it is really that season to figure out who you are. And that is a difficult reality when you are still tethered to an older part of yourself that is really evolving. Now, if you're going to different schools too, listen, I hate to break it to you, you're definitely probably just going to break up. It's probably not going to last. Be someone that's cynical. It's not what it is. It's just being more so realistic. I don't know if you've ever seen He's Just Not That Into You, but it's a great representation of a lot of life with relationships once you're an adult. A lot of things become the exception, not the rule, that you fall in love with or whatever the fantasy is, okay? Very few go from high school sweethearts to married 2.5 kids with a white picket fence. So just keep that in mind. And again, I look back, I wish someone would have told me that high school relationship, it is really not what you thought it was. Friendships, this part is really difficult and it sucks and it's really hard, but friendships are also not going to last. All your friendships that you have, they're gonna be like throwaway pairs, okay? They won't be like that tried and true sneaker that you always keep with you. It won't be like the Air Force One that you beat up and you continue to wear over and over and over again. That's not what a lot of friendships are once you leave high school. And that's not a bad thing. Once you are in new environments, like a lot of friendships are based on circumstances or situations or your environment. So when you're in a new environment, typically in college, you're going to have different interests. Different things will bring you together with those people because they are within the actual experiences of life for that stage for you, versus in high school. Even if you both, let's say, even if two friends are in high school, you're in different schools, the environment is different, like your experiences will be different. It's okay. Don't feel bad once you start to drift away, because more than likely you will have 3 to 5 hardcore friendships that remain post high school, and they will really weather anything. You don't have to check in daily, but you will be there for each other. So I know that part sucks, but a lot of those friendships won't last. Okay, so this is for all my athletes, okay? And I was one, and it's a shock to your system when you have to hang that jersey up. And I say that because it's a very small percentage that goes on to play college sports, and I don't care at what level. JUCO, D3, D2, D1. Very few go on to play those, okay? So there are some good things and bad things about that. Good, you have real time in your day. You don't even know what free time is because you've been in practices and games and tournaments your entire high school career, more than likely. So now you have time. You can sit down with friends and go out to eat and go to movies and just experience things and go to parties, and it's great once you're done. Let me tell you what's the other reality, okay? You don't understand how active you are when you're an athlete, okay? So please don't think that I can just eat the exact same way that I did in high school and it'll all be fine. No, it won't. You are not burning the same amount of calories that you were when you were at 2-a-days and when you were in game mode and game season. No, just it's not the same. Just do me a favor, okay? I'm 31 and I can tell you it's not the same. So it won't be the same and it won't catch up to you immediately, but continue to consume the way that you did and you'll find it's a little bit different. That's not to say that you need to deprive yourself. You just have to be aware of balance in relation to your activity level, because you're gonna enjoy being able to relax, like, for once. I guess what I'm saying, it's almost time for you to turn those performance style sneakers in for lifestyle pairs. And if you do, just get a Jordan MA2. That's all I'm saying. If you take nothing else away, nothing else, kids, okay? You are leaving high school. If you don't listen to a single other piece of advice, do not go into debt. I beg of you, do not go into debt. That's student loan debt and that's credit card debt. Homework assignment for you, okay? Find a millennial. And we're out there. Like, don't think we're all just antisocial or anything. We're out there. Here's your homework assignment. Ask a millennial how much of life they've put off, how many goals, how many things they've wanted to try or do in their life have been put off due to the burden of student loan debt. Just do that and then come back to me and let me know if that's a life you want. So I liken you going into student loan debt similar to someone that is just paying to have a specific sneaker or a hype sneaker. So they are willing to do any and everything to get that pair, including charge it, but they really don't have the money to even cover the full credit card bill when it arrives. So now interest is being charged for the shoe just for them to look good for someone else who really doesn't care about them. That's almost what occurs when you just go into student loan debt, because you think that people care as much about the degree as you've been led to believe, and they don't. Listen, I can tell you this. For a lot of companies also, like, once you're in, the degree. No, we don't ask what school you went to. We just don't. And if we do, it has nothing to do with prestige. We're probably just interested to know which school you root for. Are you for me, against me, same conference, not same conference? That's really the only reason we ask what school you went to. Outside of that, we don't care. Partiality. Very few professions pay a lot or enough out the gate for you to cover all of that student loan debt in a reasonable time frame, which I would say, honestly, reasonable is 3 years. Now, I have friends that paid off all of their student loan debt within a 3-year time span. They also lived like most people are not willing to live, okay? They never went and bought a new car, and they lived a very frugal life and never bought really anything for themselves outside of like one pair of shoes a year, and that's only because they ran a lot and just they were burnt out in terms of the soul. So you know that probably won't be you. Buying just one pair of shoes a year, like I doubt you're gonna want to live that way. So keep that in mind if you choose to venture into student loan debt. Like, unless you're a doctor or a lawyer, which those can possibly pay enough right out the gate, but then they're also running themselves into the ground as first year and second year lawyers, or, you know, being straight out of med school. It's a lot. If you've ever, listen, the TVs are not a joke, right? TV shows are not a joke. They really do depict how chaotic it is to be like a first year student straight out of med school or law school. So if you don't want that, you going into a different sector or focus probably just isn't going to pay enough, which means you're going to be in student loan debt, which means it's going to continue to carry over in interest, and that it's not what you want. Don't join like the 1 however trillion of us are stuck in this position. How much your credit card debt? Listen, at least credit card debt you can write off for, you know, bankruptcy. I wouldn't advise you take that route. Using a credit card is about discipline, and if you lack it, just forget about it for a while until you can really get a budget in order. Your daily Starbucks and whatever else you choose to eat, enjoy, and have fun in life, or just basic needs, should not be charged on a card and then like interest accrues on it before you have a chance to pay it off. That's not really managing life. Life is absolutely managing you at that point. Don't start yourself down that rabbit hole, because once you do, it's extremely hard to get out. And if you get caught up in what we've all been through in the last year and financial stability rears its head and you don't have the means to take care of it, you're going to struggle. Like a lot of people in this country right now that are not prepared to go back to work, that are not prepared if student loan debt were to kick back in for payments end of September. However, that's not the case. Joe Biden extended that, which I am very grateful for, so I can continue to make payments. But it's a dark reality that I wouldn't want any of you to go through. And I know it's thrown in your face that you just have to go to school and it's the only way. You can go to school by choosing to go to a community college for 2 years, transfer those credits, go to an in-state school, save, really hone in on whatever your focus may be, and make sure that it's not something your parents just want you to do, but something you'll be fulfilled in. So hopefully those 3 points drive something home for you as you're getting ready to, you know, navigate the rest of high school or leave high school. So if you found value in this, parents or kids, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I truly appreciate it. And as always, act your age, not your shoe size. Congratulations, back to school. Peace out.